guys, welcome back to 25 Sweetpeas and welcome to an Inktober or Artober, whatever we want to call it, kind of a draw with me video. Today I thought I would go ahead and show you the full process behind one of the illustrations. Today we're going to be doing a little ghostie. I'm going to grab it off of the big sketch that I did like when I started all of this. I think that was featured in the very first video for this kind of series. Basically what I do is I will create a whole bunch of squares on a square canvas and then put down all of my ideas that I have right at that moment really quick, usually rather sloppily, but it gets the ideas out there. Then I can reference them later on. I can actually go copy and paste a little sketch and put them into a bigger canvas, which is what I'm going to do currently, and it's going to be teeny tiny. So basically it's just going to be my guide. I'm going to put it in the background, I'm going to turn its opacity down, and I'm going to work on top of it. But also what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into the canvas, the drawing guide, turn on the grid tool, put it at max. So basically it is just helping me getting my centering points so I can actually center the piece of art. Now I did this freehand with text in it, so I mean that part I'm probably going to have to play with and move around later, but basically we want the ghost to be centered at this very moment, so that is what I am doing. As it stands, Procreate doesn't really have a major centering tool. Now it does have snapping features, but I don't feel like it's 100% working on my device, which I have already addressed with them, and they are working on some updates. So maybe if you guys are also having issues with that, you'll have some resolution soon, like hopefully we all will. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to my original sketch and kind of brain dump of ideas, and I'm gonna go ahead and color block the idea. So as you guys can see on the other sketches, I have picked colors and kind of played with the color scheme. So I'm now gonna go in, grab some brushes, and use a black burn brush, which is standard in Procreate. So if you have Procreate, you have that brush. I just don't know what file it is in because I kind of just put it in a favorite file where I put all my favorite brushes, and I'm going to use that to color block. I'm going to kind of use like this purpley magenta shade. It definitely is like a cross between a pink and a purple, and I really like it. It matches the nail polish I've been using recently. Then I definitely want to make the ghost white, and I'm not sure on the lettering, but I might just figure that out later. So yeah, I'm going to go back in. I already took note of those colors. They're in my normal color palette that I use, which is a palette of 60 different colors they kind of alternate between. It should allow me to go through all seasons but using the same color family, which I like because in the past I've gotten kind of a creative block or stuck creatively because I was trying to use seasonal colors when realistically I'm not huge into seasonal colors. Like my traditional Christmas colors aren't even what most people would consider traditional because I like the beachy approach. Anyway, I'm going to go in, and I'm still using that black burn brush because I love the kind of texture of it. It definitely has a real like kind of paintbrush feel. It's like if you were using a gouache paint or an acrylic paint and you want to see the bristles strokes on the background. That's why I've used the black burn brush for the background. Then I'm going to go make a layer on top. I still have the black burn brush on, and we are going to, I was just going to show you the texture. See that texture? So good with the black burn brush. Then I'm moving up to the Storybook Studio folder, which is a brush set that I bought not too long ago from Design Cuts, which I really liked. I started by trying the ghost with a brush called Cake and Strawberries, or Strawberries and Cake, I think it was what it was. And I really liked it because it had a bit of a transparency, which I felt like for a ghost was pretty accurate. I mean, do we really know? No, but that's what I went with. Then I decided I didn't like it, or like the brush strokes were just too something. So I switched brushes, and let's see where we're gonna land. I'm gonna go with a wet brush within that, and that definitely has a very, very transparent vibe. And actually, if you lift your brush and start again, it's actually going to create a thicker white. So I don't know if that's going to work for this. Let's try it out and see what we think. Yeah, not a huge fan, but let's try it with a smaller approach. I'm going to outline the ghost and then fill it in, and you really can tell how this has like a very, I don't know how you would describe this, a very loose brush. I don't have the streamline on, which might be a reason, but streamline wise, like the edges aren't super fine. It definitely has like that watercolory feel, which I kind of like, and it makes sense when it's called a wet brush. I mean, this is a ghost we're talking about here. I mean, it has a really good texture, and there you can see how it layers. But I don't know, it's just, I don't think that it works 100% yet. So let's go play with some other brushes. I'm going to use a Fill Texture 1 in that brush set, which is a Storybook brush set, I believe. Like I said, I will link the brush sets that I used. So I don't love that. See, this is what happens. This is why it takes me so long. So I'm going to use my standard 6B. No, actually, let's look for something else. It's hard to remember exactly the brushes that I use, but this is very normal for this sort of thing. I go through, I try all the different brushes, and sometimes I just end up with the back at the same brush I started with, which is what I'm currently doing. I'm back with the strawberries and cake, or cake and strawberries, whichever way it is. And I'm just kind of going to start by outlining instead of just filling in right away, although you can tell that I am doing some filling in. And I'm just gonna slowly paint the ghost, which you guys know, if you have been following 25 Sweetpeas for any amount of time, I'm not into spooky Halloween. I'm not really into Halloween that much. However, I love a good theme, and the challenge of making Halloween but Sarah, or but 25 Sweetpeas like, very pastel and beachy feeling. That was kind of my goal and why I wanted to go ahead and try to approach it. So I'm creating a very cute ghost, not spooky. I'm also using the new reference feature so I can see what the full piece will look like when it's all done in the side. I'm really liking this feature so much. Granted, sometimes I forget to use it, so I'm very happy that I actually remembered to turn it on for this video because I think it's cool. You get to see it on a big scale, because sometimes I'll be like working on something that I'll zoom out just to see what it looks like full screen, but this way I don't really have to. You can kind of get a good idea of what it's going to look like. Also, the blue lining that you see is not going to stay there. That is just the reference sketch that I was basing everything off of, and kind of my guidelines that I'm using to fill in the ghost. And yeah, I'm really liking this texture. I feel like it has enough texture, but it's not too much, not too little, somewhere just right. I'm not sure about the end of the ghost. Like, do I make it pointy? Do I make it rounded? I don't really know. It's not like it's coming out of something. It's just kind of there. And I don't know. Let's see. Nope, that didn't quite work. I am going to clean up the line here. I could turn on my erase brush to match the brush I'm using, but I don't really feel like doing that. So there it is without the sketch. Ooh, I really like it without the sketch. I think we're good. This side needs a little bit more. It's a little too textured on the side, actually. Need a bit of a more defined line, I think. I'm gonna go in and do that. And again, the line sketch that I'm basing this off of is just that. Like, I don't have to stick to it. I can change it up as we go, making my brush a little bit smaller to finish the end of the ghost, though. It's definitely gonna help make it look more finished and not just like a blob at the end, I think. We shall see. Yeah, I think I like that. So now I'm gonna go to a kind of dark blue shade, and I'm going to go to my drawing box, get the 6B V1 pencil, which is probably my go-to pencil. It's just so good. I'm gonna turn down the opacity of the ghost just a teeny bit because I want it to be a bit more transparent. Plus, I want to be able to see through it so I can follow the original eyes from the sketch because they're really kind of cutesy. I use the I don't know what this tool is actually called, but basically the tool where it helps you make things accurate. So a circle makes it actually look like a circle, or in this case I kind of went with an oval shape. I duplicated the eye, pulled it over, merged them together so they were on the same layer, but so the eyes were the exact same size. Then I added a little sideways mouth, which I thought was kind of cutesy. Then I'm going to add some eyelashes to give her a girly-like effect. I feel like that needs a bit more of a subtle length change. I'm going to do that on both. I probably should have done this in such a way where I could have duplicated them, but nobody's are exactly the same. But yeah. Like I said, this is a 6B V1 pencil. and I love it, and I will link the brush set that it's from as well. Gonna fill in the like pupil of the eye. I just did it with the same colored pencil, and now we're gonna switch over to actual screen footage. So at this point I'm done with the eye, and it is time for the lettering. Oh joy, lettering. So I'm actually gonna go back to the drawing guide and make my grid a bit more smaller so I can have something to line up the lettering on. I'm gonna use a flat brush to do the lettering. I'm not sure what brush I'm gonna land on because, like I said, I'm not confident in lettering. I don't feel like I can do it, but I'm looking for a good flat brush. Everybody says I always use like a Nico roll brush, but I can never find it when I'm thinking of it, so I'm probably just gonna stick with my traditional roll soft brush, but we will see. I really have found that flat brushes are very helpful for when you want to do text yourself. Oftentimes I will just use a font or something to that extent, but I do want to do it more by hand because I think it looks cool. And I did find the Nico roll brush. Yes, okay. I don't love it, so I think, oh, well, I'm gonna save it so I know where it is first. Then I'll probably go use something else. Sometimes I have a hard time putting the brushes in different folders. Basically what I have done is I've created my like a textured folder of all the brushes that I love that are textured. I have favorite brushes as of like Procreate 4, and then I have a different folder for brushes that were before that, and it's a mixture of standard Procreate brushes and brushes that I've purchased that I just use a ton. So it's kind of hard for me to always cite where I got them from, because before Procreate 4 there was no like this brush was made by part, which I'm really happy they have now because now I can reference those from time to time. Not all the time, but I am going to go ahead and use that Nico roll brush. It does have a really good texture to it, and I'm just going to work on the lettering here, and you guys are going to see a lot of trial and error, but I'm just going to turn on some music and just let you guys watch this bit. Now I am just outlining the original lettering that I did. I'm tracing them. I mean, not tracing them, I'm outlining them, and then I'm filling them in with a very textured brush. I've gone back to these, what's the brush set called? I can never remember. It's called the Drawing Box, and it has my favorite 6B pencil. It's a 6B pencil V1. I love it. There's a V2 as well, and that's like if you were using the side of a pencil, which is really cool. But I'm just using the 6B pencil, and it gives a great texture. Very colored pencil like, which I think is cool. Actually, this might be a colored pencil. I don't remember. I wish there was a way I could find out, but you can't like hold down over the part that you were coloring with and finding out what pencil you use. That would actually be a great little feature. I kind of love that idea. But yeah, that's probably what this rest of this video is going to be. I hope you guys have enjoyed this kind of draw with me process and seeing my full process. I personally love turning on videos like this when I am painting and just watching other people's process and seeing their illustrations come together or their nail art come together. When I paint at night, I don't paint every night anymore, but when I do paint my nails at night, I like to have YouTube on. I like to have a good either like studio vlog on, a art video, just something where it feels like you're creating something with a friend, or you're just listening to music, watching somebody else create. Like, I like it all. It's super fun and it's kind of relaxing, and it gives you something for your mind to concentrate on while you're painting, and then it kind of just becomes like this really great relaxing session of like taking a break from the rest of the world, which I feel like we can all agree is kind of messy right now. And yeah, it's kind of a nice little relaxing way to do that. Or, you know, nothing else, you are sitting down and you're drawing alongside a friend, which I think is super fun. I know the other night I was drawing some upcoming drawings and I turned on YouTube and then I was drawing at the same time, and it was just nice. It was kind of relaxing, and I used to go and work on my iPad or in a journal of some sort, sketchbook sort of thing, from a coffee shop once a week, every week. And with COVID, obviously, and those things being shut down, or it just not feeling like a safe thing to do, and not being as enjoyable whenever you're going out and you're wearing a face mask and you're having like it's constantly in the back of your head and you're thinking about it, it's just not as enjoyable. So I feel like I really missed that, but doing this sort of thing has kind of helped in the regards of being able to, I don't know, just draw mindlessly or fully having your mind focused on one thing. I don't know if any of that makes sense, but hopefully it does. I was actually looking up a lo-fi video for like coffee shop sounds the other day, and it was kind of hilarious because in the comments there were other people like, who's here in 2020 because I miss going to coffee shops but miss the sound and want to have the sound. Like, yep, that's me. I thought that was really funny. So apparently I'm not alone. Maybe that's also you. And if it is, hopefully that's helped. Maybe I'll try to put in some neat coffee shop sounds in the background. I don't know. Now I wish I had like recorded the coffee shops I'd been in just so I could like have that. And then I need like the espresso machine sound, the coffee aroma. You know, like it's a full experience when you go to a coffee shop. Even if you're not a coffee liker, I feel like you just like the whole experience, the sounds, the smells. I don't know. It's just something kind of fun. And add a rainy day to it, sitting by a window listening to the rain, like that's super kind of fun and cozy. Hopefully someday we'll get back to doing that. Who knows? But better safe than sorry at this point. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. I hope you're staying safe, washing your hands, being careful, wearing a mask, and yeah. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you guys soon in another video. Let me know what you thought of this. Is this something you want me to post more of? I do realize it's a much longer sort of video setup, but if it helps you in the same way that it helps me, let me know, and I will definitely try to do it because honestly, it's fun to make. It doesn't take much extra effort or time. Granted, I have to remember to turn on the camera, but for all intents and purposes, it's pretty fun and easy to do. So here's a look at the final piece you guys will be seeing on social media soon. And as I mentioned in another video, if you aren't already, I am posting daily art on Twitter. So you can head over there and follow me. I'm 25 Sweetpeas there. And then I will be posting the art occasionally on Instagram and posting some reels every now and then for time lapses. But yeah, that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to watermark your art. And yeah, I will talk to y'all soon. Bye!